Geos 2321, Geology, Resources, and Environment of Latin America. I'm Bob Stern.
I'm Ignacio Pujana.
I am Anna Biomi.
And we will be your instructors for this course, which we call GRELA for short. We are glad that you are interested to learn more about our neighbors to the south. This video is what we call a video syllabus. All UTD courses are required to have a written syllabus, which can be downloaded from e-learning or from coursebook. This video syllabus supplements the written syllabus, which you should read carefully. GRELA is a unique course in a couple of ways. First, there is no suitable textbook, so the course content is based entirely on 23 video lectures. Second, the lectures are posted on YouTube for anybody to watch. You are encouraged to share these with friends and families. PDFs of these lectures can also be downloaded from e-learning by enrolled students.
Well, let's talk about the course structure. The 23 lectures are each about an hour long and are grouped into 5 modules: Geography and Geology, Minerals, Energy and Natural Hazards, and Water and the Environment. Because it's so important that you understand where things are in Latin America, the course begins with a lecture on the geography of Latin America, its regions, nations, and important physical features. The next 4 lectures in Module 1 begin by outlining the cultural geography of the region, and then its physical geography. Because the course is aimed to students who are likely to know little about geology, this module finishes by introducing pre-tectonic concepts and outlining the geologic evolution of Latin America.
The next 5 lectures comprise the second course module, focused on mining and minerals. This module also allows us to briefly review the history of humans in Latin America. The first lecture in this module explores how and when people came to the region, leading to the great Inca and Aztec civilizations. Next, we discuss how metals were used by pre-Columbian people. This leads us naturally to the Spanish conquest of the Aztecs and the Incas, the coalition of civilizations, and then to a lecture on how especially silver mining dominated the colonial economies of Mexico, Bolivia, and Peru. The last lecture in the minerals and mining module explores nitrate and copper mining in the Atacama Desert of northern Chile, and how exploitation of these deposits led to a 19th century war and a 20th century military coup.
The next module is an overview of Latin American energy and natural hazards. This begins by explaining geothermal energy, which is especially important for Mexico and Central America. Next, we devote 2 lectures to oil and gas. The first provides some basic information about how oil and natural gas form and what kinds of geologic settings are likely to contain oil or gas. The second discusses where it is found in Latin America and some history about how these deposits were discovered and how these have affected the region's development. The next lecture focuses on increasingly important deposits of lithium, needed for powering electric cars and battery storage of electricity generated from the sun and the wind. Mining lake beds or salars for lithium is causing environmental concerns and political unrest. The 4 lectures about Latin American energy are followed by 2 lectures on natural hazards, first about earthquakes and then about volcanic eruptions, both of which are related to the plate tectonic setting of Latin America. This completes the second course module.
The next 7 lectures make up the last module on water and the environment. First is a lecture on the coupled oceanographic atmospheric phenomenon called El Niño, also known now as El Niño-Southern Oscillation or ENSO for short. This lecture also let us explore the link between the trade winds, ocean currents, nutrient supply, and the marine food chain. Next is a lecture about the glaciers of Latin America. Alpine glaciers near the equator are particularly interesting because these are preserving an excellent climate record that is rapidly disappearing due to global climate change, hurting especially nearby farmers who rely on this glacial meltwater for their crops. A lecture about the Amazon River, by far the biggest river in the world, is next. We discuss not only the river system itself, but also explain why it is so large, and outline some of the remarkable animals and plants that depend on it. Following naturally after this, we lecture about Latin American rainforest, especially, but not exclusively, about the Amazon rainforest. We explore a number of topics, including the climate required to produce rainforest and their trophic systems and animals. We also explain why rainforests are important and outline how these are being reduced in size.
The next lecture explores the coral reefs of Latin America, which are concentrated around the Caribbean. We explain that coral reefs are remarkable examples of symbiosis, with photosynthetic algae living in soft tissues of the coral animal host, and how global warming causes the algae to live, leading to coral death and bleaching. The next two lectures explore themes closer to the United States. First, discussing the challenges of sharing the limited water of the Rio Grande and the Rio Conchos, which flow through the Chihuahuan Desert between the US and Mexico. We explore how population growth in this region is stressing water supplies and the importance of treaties and bilateral monitoring agencies for sharing this scarce resource between the two nations. The final lecture is an overview of the Antilles, where the people of 12 nations and 19 dependencies live on many islands on the north, south, and east rim of the Caribbean Sea. Many people do not consider this region as part of Latin America, but we think it deserves to be included as part of the course. The lectures focus on a range of topics, but are also intended to highlight most of the different regions of Latin America.
Now let's talk about how your grade will be determined. You must take an online geography exam and score 90% or better before you're allowed to take any midterm. There are no surprises in the geography test. You can download a sheet with the 50 things you will be asked to locate from e-learning. This exam is online and there's no set time or date for you to take it, but you are strongly advised to take it during the first or second week of classes, so you can get on with the videos in preparation for midterm 1. You must get a score of 90 or more to pass, but you can take the exam as many times as you need to get a 90 or better. The last score, over 90 of course, will count 10% of your grade. The 3 midterms and the final are different than the geography test. They are on set dates. We have made study guides for the midterms and post these in UTD e-learning. The first midterm is on February 26th. The second midterm is on Friday, October 31st, and the third midterm is on Friday, November 21. Each midterm covers material presented since the last midterm. The final exam will be on Friday, December 12th, and will cover the entire course.
Each exam consists of 50 questions, mostly multiple choice, but also some true, false, and some matching questions. You will have an hour for each exam with no penalty. There are no makeup exams, but you can also miss one test or skip the final with no penalty. Or you can take all the 4 tests and we will drop your lowest score. Your choice. But there will be no makeup exams. The 3 midterms and the final must be taken in person at the UTD Testing Center. You can take these exams anytime that particular day when the testing center is open. You must contact the UTD Testing Center to reserve a place for your exam at least 48 hours in advance, and you can do it as soon as you want, as soon as the semester starts. Last year, we had several students who forgot to do this, so they failed that test. Don't let that happen to you. If it does, you waste your free drop test, obviously. Also, you must show your valid UTD comment card to take your exam in the testing center.
Weekly homeworks will count as 30% of your grade. This homework will also be a few questions about a video topic to be included in the next exam. The questions will basically be samples of the midterm, and this is intended to motivate you to watch the videos regularly. It should be obvious that if you do the homework, you will not only get the credit, but you will also be better prepared for the midterm.
One more thing will go into your grade. You will be assigned to a discussion group that will meet each Friday online, either 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 p.m. This will count for 15% of your grade. All you have to do to get full credit for this activity is attend regularly, be live on the screen, and ask one question or make one comment per session.
Well, what about the extra credit? Because we value your feedback, we are willing to give you 2 points extra credit to anyone who completes this online course assessment and emails one of us that you have done so. That's the only extra credit we offer. Course grades will be based on a curve, and we expect that everyone that passed the geography test and taking the 3 midterms and final will earn a passing grade.
Okay, that about wraps it up. We do have some advice for how to do well in this course. First, pass the geography test as early as possible. Second, get in the habit of watching a couple of videos a week. Don't wait until the last night before the exam to watch them. Use the days before the exam to review the videos and the slides and go over the study guide. We encourage group study and making your own study guides and tests.
We hope you enjoy this course as much as we enjoyed putting it together, and we look forward to meeting you online.